So if you are keeping a fish pond, there's a few things that you want to consider. First of all, make sure that you're adding a good quality water ager every time that you add tap water to the aquarium, because in tap water there's chlorine, which is a sterilizer, which is going to kill your bacteria and ultimately kill your fish. So adding a water ager is extremely important to all new water. Also, a lot of tap water, such as Sydney tap water, has got no carbonate in it, so it's also important to dose carbonate or KH every time that you add new water to the aquarium, because Sydney tap water and a lot of tap waters don't have KH. KH is carbonate, calcium carbonate. It's very important to the fish, and not having this in the water is not unlike having no calcium in your diet, which doesn't end well. So dosing this with new water is really important. When you start out your pond, it's also worth putting a bit of aquarium salt in the pond. What the salt does is just aid immune system, help the body slime, help stop bacterial infections. It's just really worthwhile. It increases your general hardness, and you dose this according to the water that you remove. So those two there, you actually add when you're adding new water. This one here, you dose to the water that you remove, because the salt does not evaporate. So therefore, as the water evaporates, if you add salt every time you add new water, your salt level will slowly raise. It's also very important to feed the fish a high quality food, because the higher the quality food that you add, the less waste is produced in the pond, and the fish eat surprisingly a little amount. If you look at your pond and see that the water's cloudy, then it's a good idea not to feed the fish at all. If the water's quite clear, then you do want to feed the fish. Generally, if you're not trying to majorly grow your fish, I'll feed them a couple of times in a week in summer and not at all in winter, or hardly at all in winter. And you monitor the fish, you look at their bellies and adjust your feed according to the bellies that you're seeing. And another very good product to consider is Aquarium Detox, because normal aquatic bacteria creates basically a sludge in the bottom of the aquarium, and this stuff here actually is bacteria from mud, and it's an assimilating bacteria, so it goes in and just physically cleans the pond. I've actually put this into ponds which have got thick layers of sludge in the bottom of the pond, and then found over a period of weeks or even months, the bacteria comes alive and physically eats that sludge. So you find that your pond stays much cleaner, you tend to get a lot less algae, and you don't tend to need to clean your filter as often. And because this is bacteria from mud, it expects a life cycle of wet and dry periods, so you do need to replace this every few months. So other than that, oxygen is the next most important thing with your pond. So ensure that you've got plenty of good surface agitation and plenty of good water flow, and you'll really enjoy keeping your pond.